Come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes. Good morning, Foxes. How the devil are you today? How has your weekend been so far? Was it ruined with that dreadful, shambolic performance yesterday? But enough about yesterday. Welcome to the original Sunday morning football show. You know what day it is. It's Sunday. It's 9:30 a.m. So it's time for the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, run by us fans in here, for you fans out there. And you know what? Your opinion really matters. So get them comments in. Let's get going. It's kickoff time. Come on, you Foxes.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors: Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Foxes Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Morning. Oh, well, it's Sunday morning. I was going to wear my Christmas hat. I was going to say Merry Christmas, season of goodwill and blah, but I think they went out the window yesterday. To be honest, we're the most Jekyll and Hyde team I've ever seen, never knowing what we're going to get. It feels like one step forward and about 10 steps back. The last 3 games, 7 points from 9, and then we get the performance like that. I'm just not sure where we're going. I really don't know where we're going, but I've got a new Leicester, well, not a new, an old Leicester fan, but new Leicester fan to the channel. Here's Mark Goodacre. How the devil are you, Mark? Are you good, pal?
Good morning, mate. Yeah, all good, thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, Reedy's, to everyone else, Reedy's just getting ready. He's just getting out his pit. Let's bring Reedy on now. Morning, Reedy. How are you, pal?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah. Mark, come on then. You're a long-time listener, first-time guest. What's your opinions on just yesterday to start off with? And, I mean, it's literally one step forward and about 10 back in it at the minute.
Yeah, that's how it feels. I mean, I came away last week from the Ipswich Town game for the first time all season thinking we've got like a proper team. You know, it was a great performance in 70 minutes, 2 brilliant goals. We dug in, even when we conceded with 20 minutes to go where, most of the time you get a bit nervous. I thought we dug in quite well and saw the game out really well. So I came away from the King Power last Saturday quite thinking, with, three games unbeaten, 7 points out of 9, settled team, and we looked like a proper team for the first time all season under Marty, so maybe things were clicking. I didn't go yesterday. I should have gone yesterday, but I couldn't make it. But I checked Twitter after about 20 odd minutes and we were 2-0 down, first goal after 2 minutes. And if I'm being brutally honest, I wasn't even surprised. I thought, it's like you say, it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I've not seen the highlights of yesterday.
I won't bother, Mark, if I was you.
Yeah, by all accounts, the first half was absolutely disgraceful. I've not even seen the goals yet. But again, I've been told, I will see them later, 4 defensive mistakes, wasn't it, apparently, from set pieces and throw-ins and what have you.
To be honest, Mark, QPR were really fantastic in that second half. They played 2 up top, big man, small man, Coney, however he's pronounced, and Burrell. They played the ball down the channels, got to the wingers, got the crosses in. They flooded the box just to see what happened, whereas we just played it around the back, keep balling, tippy-tappy. Although, really, you were saying there didn't seem to be a lot of tippy-tappy on the channel, on the game last night.
No, I honestly didn't think we played that much tippy-tappy football. Obviously, after the game, when obviously the whistle blew, and I saw many people moaning about the style of play and why we lost. But for me, I don't think we did that. I think we did try and get a few efforts in before we were ultimately 3-0 down. But the thing that cost us.
We had one block.
No, I know. I know what I'm saying is that the chances that we tried to create, which weren't great, but we were still trying to create some stuff. But ultimately, we were 3-0 down by the time that we could even try and get a shot on target. I think it was Ricardo was the first one on target, even though it was literally a bit of a fluky header. But overall, the reason we were 3-0 down or even 4-0 down before half time was because we just couldn't defend. I think that the worst of the lot was the fourth one. So it was just ridiculous.
I think the worrying thing for me though is that was the same 11 I would have started yesterday as well. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like in the past you can say, why is he playing so and so? Why is he playing so and so in that position? But I would have started that starting 11 yesterday as well. So that's concerning that we put a performance like that in the first half. You know, it's people say to me, so we're still work in progress. I think we're nearly halfway through the season now. I think we need to stop saying we're work in progress. I accept that some of the players that maybe started yesterday won't be here next season, but you know, he's had 5 months now, hasn't he? I'm not going after the manager big time here, but he's had 5 months, and we can't keep saying we're work in progress anymore, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I'm just going to add Jono in. Morning, Jono. Jono, London, Cockney Jono, but now Leicester Jono. How the devil are you, pal? Are you good?
Yeah, all good, thanks. Bit blurry.
As you just joined, I'll ask you this one. If we got a point yesterday, it'd have set us up for Christmas, wouldn't it? But it seems like we're back to square one after getting 7 points from 9. 8 from 12 wouldn't have been too bad, Jono, but now it's back to square one. We've got to start all over again.
Yeah, really disappointing yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, I fancied us after the last few games to have got something yesterday, but it was absolutely the opposite. You're absolutely right. It was as bad as the other games where we were losing 3-0 at half time. Sheffield United, probably the worst of the lot at home. It was exactly the same sort of performance. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We've lost all momentum and we're having to start all over again. So I don't quite know what happened. It looked like basically the players had gone out on their Christmas party the night before and just weren't ready for the game. That's a conversation I was having last night with another Leicester fan. Because we were joking about it. They were out on the piss or something the night before because it just looked like they just weren't applying themselves at all to playing a game of football. Whether it's complacency, whether it's the fact that, oh yeah, we're doing all right, we've got 7 points out of 9 and can just turn up and steamroller teams. You know, in this league, you can't do that. And we haven't got the quality to do that anyway. So to me, it stinks of complacency. We've seen it throughout this season where, you know, teams have turned up and basically made it a scrap and we can't cope with it. And that's exactly what happened yesterday from what I could see.
Yeah, going on, Mark, going on Jono's point about being down again. I mean, that's 3 out of the last 6 games we've been 3-0 down at half time. And the other 3 games we've been 3-0 up, 2-0 up and 2-0 up. But I didn't realise this fact until I was scrolling on Twitter last night. 7 times this calendar year, we have been down 3-0 before half time. I mean, I know that was in the Premiership last year, but is it a thing? Is it something that's happening through the whole, it's just continuation from last season? We can't get it out of our heads because we've got the same kind of players.
Yeah, possibly. I think it's happened under Martin. I mean, I would have, you can once is you get your head down. It's happened. You learn from it twice, but now 3 times less than 4 weeks is, for me, is unforgivable. Really. I mean, you would expect the team talks all week would be, keep it tight at QPR, all the cliches, start the game well, etc. Don't give them an early goal to get momentum, and to go 1 down after 2 minutes, the whole game plan changes, doesn't it? You go 1 down, you think to yourself, okay, keep it tight for the next 20, 25 minutes, try and get a foothold in the game. You go 2-0 down after 20 minutes, and then you find a losing battle, aren't you? But yeah, it's concerning. But just thinking about the 3 games where we've got 7 points out of 9, the Bristol City second half was alarm bells for me as well, because we never got our own half that second half against Bristol, and we could have lost the game easily 3 or 4-2. So the Ipswich Town game was the best game for me, but we're not a 90-minute team, are we, at all? We have periods where for 20 or 30 minutes we go missing, and then the game's out of our reach, unfortunately. But it's definitely an issue under Marty to concede 3 goals and 4 goals yesterday in the first half 3 times in less than 4 weeks. I mean, that's unforgivable in my view.
There's Reader, you were at the game yesterday. You spent your hard-earned money. You'd probably £100 on train, food, ticket, drink, you name it. I mean, what was the feeling? You saw the team sheet, and I know it was going to be tough at QPR because it always is. It's the old type of ground. The pitch is a bit shit up. But I never saw that coming that first half. I never expected that first half. What was it like in the crowd? Was they anticipating something good, or did they just think, oh, right, this is it?
I think
What
we
did you
knew that.
expect?
I think with the team, we knew it was going to be basically the same. So I was kind of just expecting it to be just as it was the last few games, in the fact that not we should be winning, but in the fact that I felt like the momentum was not going our way, and I think that the way we were playing was a better kind of not style, but a better philosophy and a better way of like controlling the game in the way. Like I say, Skip and James together has been doing quite well, so we know that that sort of worked. Bobby Reed scored the last couple of games as well, so I thought he was looking good, but it just didn't seem to click. And every time QPR attacked, it just felt like it was going to be a goal, and it was basically because they had 5 shots on target in the first half and scored 4, and the one that didn't get, the one that they didn't score, they completely fluffed from about 2 yards out. So
To me, read it. It just seems so easy. Every time QPR got the ball, they knew exactly what they're doing. I said it in me monologue at the beginning. They played it down the channels. They got to the wingers. They crossed the ball in. I don't know what Steffi Mavididi was doing for the first goal, just dangling his leg out, not even attempting to. Was it Mavididi or Fatu? No, it was Mavididi, wasn't it? Just dangling the ball out, and the cross came in. Ricky P didn't really know what was going on. He should have been more. He should have been a bit more alert to what's going on. But it just seemed they were more up for the game. Read it. Again, it seems a very slow start, and like we had concrete boots on yesterday.
it's so hard. It's so hard to predict, like, know what kind of was the fatal issue yesterday to why we conceded 4 so early. But I don't know, because when I was there, you obviously can't see replays and stuff. So it's like the first goal, it just felt like it was. I called it lucky because of the way the ball came over to the other guy on the back post, and it just felt like it just pinged off his head into the
I don't
goal.
know, Reedy. I don't think any goal. There's some goals that are lucky, and I think me and Mark and John have been around a bit longer. You put that ball in the corridor of uncertainty, just on the edge of that 6-yard box.
Of course,
The defenders don't know. You're trained to do that, but Leicester players don't do that, do they, Mark? They want to score the perfect goal all the time. This tippy-tappy football, trying to make space. But what QPR were doing, we're getting it down to them, putting the cross in. Anything can happen once you put that cross in, Mark, can't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm old school 4-4-2, do you know what I mean? But I accept that football's changing now and it evolves and different styles come into play. But, defenders don't like crosses, do they, into spaces, essentially. And we were exploited yesterday in the first half. As I said at the start of the conversation, the irony is that's the back four I probably would have picked yesterday as well, with Ben Nelson and Vestergaard or what have you. So it's a bit concerning that we were completely undone for the first 45 minutes.
I think it's weird because it's kind of like we either go 2 or 3-0 up, or we go 2-3 or 2-0, 3-0 down. I think it's just on the day, which way are we going to go? We're going to get 2 or 3 goals, or we're going to concede 2 or 3 goals, and then the game's either going to be done or going to be game on. So it's weird because, like I say, going into Sheffield United now, there's every chance we go away and we go 2-3-0 up, but then we could be 2 or 3-0 down. And it's game over already. So,
like I said at the start, it's a Jekyll and Hyde performance. We just don't know where we're going.
No.
Go on, Mark. Were you about to say something? Go on.
I was just about to say that I know we're 5 months into Marty's, tenure or whatever you want to call it, but I'm still a bit puzzled as to what the style is. What our kind of basics are, what we're about. Is it counter-attacking? Is it sitting deep? Because, I don't know what we are at the moment, to be honest. We have patches of individual brilliance, like we've seen this season with Fatu and Jordan James and Mavididi, with fantastic goals that have got us points and the odd one here and there. But I'm still not sure what our identity is as a team in terms of, what's our style, what's our characteristics. It's a bit puzzling for me at the moment.
Now, on that point, Steve Cooper got the sack for exactly the same thing. What's our identity? After 10 games, Steve Cooper got sacked for that. And you know what? I'm just going to take that comment off there. I believe now, we might have still gone down. We might have had a bit more of a fight in us last year. And I don't think we'd have been in this position if Steve Cooper had still been here. And I'm really thinking, no, not a cat and mouse chance, but he had the bollocks for the Championship, where none of these managers, Van Nistelrooy didn't have it for the Premiership, and I don't think Cifuentes has got it for this. I know I'm going to get slated for this, but I think Steve Cooper would have done a better job for us than the previous 2 managers.
I think certainly than Rude, that was a big mistake. I think we can all agree on that one. Steve Cooper, in my mind, being ex-Forest and all that, and I know people are going to say, well, it doesn't really matter. But I think with the fans, I think it was always a struggle to get the fans behind Steve Cooper. And I think we saw that. And I think that's half the battle, first of all, is making sure that the fans are committed and behind the team, which, you would say they would be. But the style, I think, under Steve Cooper was different to previous styles. And I think it was just flip-flopping around. I don't think it stunk really of the fact that up at top, they just didn't have a strategy or, anything in mind in terms of how they're running the club. So I think it's ultimately down to that. But regardless of any of the managers, the players have got to be committed on the pitch. And what I was seeing yesterday is, again, a load of players that just weren't putting it in there, winning the second balls, getting committed into the tackles, that kind of stuff, which we have seen in previous games. So it was baffling to me to see that kind of lackluster performance yesterday. I only saw the first half because I had to go out in this later in the afternoon. But first half was enough for me to see. It was enough for me to see that they weren't winning the second balls. They weren't committed into the tackle. They were really, really kind of lackluster at the back. Really, they weren't, being physical, which was what we've seen in previous games. So I was really, really confused as to why that happened yesterday. I thought we'd totally agree. We'd turned the corner, and we clearly haven't.
Well, I thought we'd turn a corner, but it doesn't look like around. This is going to be a two-part question. The first part's going to go to Reedy, and the second part's going to go to Mark. The subs, Reedy, yesterday. We were 4-0 down at half-time. He didn't make any changes. He waited until the 60th minute before he made any changes. I know QPR, it was a bit like the Sheffield United game. QPR sort of sat back, they'd won the game. What did you think to the subs, Reader?
I think the one thing I will firstly mention is the fact that I think the only positive from yesterday, and this is like a very, very bad positive because there's not many positives from the game, is that Jacob Ramsey's back. Aaron Ramsey, not Jacob Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey's back. And do you know what? The moment he came on the pitch, even though we were 4-0 down, he looked like he still wanted to try and get stuck in and try and create chances that we just never were doing anyway. For me, he comes back into the team against Sheffield United because I think he was not quality, because he can't be overcoming quality yesterday, but he's shown the level of ability he can do yesterday for me, that you need to create that sort of number 10 where you can create the chances, through balls and all that. So for me, he has to start. But all the other subs, I think it was more just resting the other players, to be honest. But James came off, and I was like, that's obviously an obvious one. Bobby Reid obviously coming off as well. For me, just putting out the youngsters out to put a bit of a run out, because again, it was game over. So as much as it might be a bit of a downer for them to just come on because we're already down and out, it's just annoying. But I don't know, it's just weird. Again, at least we saw a bit more Monga yesterday. I don't know, but
the second part to you, Mark, is you've got Wout Fez on the bench, Carranza on the bench. You take the subs off, but you take Vestergaard off and put Skip back. You take Ayew off and put Silko Thomas up top and leave a defender and a striker on the pitch. But on the other side of the coin, you've got the youth team. Now, you're quite up on the, not youth team, youth players, the under 21s and the under 23s now, isn't it? You're quite up on the under 23s because you go quite a lot. You go nearly every game to Seagrave, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I've been going since 2021 down Seagrave. Yeah, it's not too far from where I live. And I just enjoy it, to be honest. It's good to see a lot of the young lads coming through. A lot of the academy lads. This is the best crop we've got down there since I've been going the last 4 years. But we have to acknowledge that it's a big step up from playing under 23s football to physical men's football in the Championship. You know, people like Monga look world beaters for the under 21s, but it's a different stage, isn't it, in the Championship? But for me, that should be our blueprint going forward as a football club. You know, in terms of Seagrave and local academy lads coming through. That for me should be our focus over the coming years, and try and build a team around some of these academy lads. As I said earlier on, I think the challenge will be trying to keep away the vultures away from some of these young lads. There was rumours this week about Monga being, touted to Tottenham and Manchester City and Newcastle. I read in August that Louis Page was being courted by Arsenal. I think Manchester United had made an inquiry for Jake Evans, if you believe the rumours, that is. So there's a few so-called bigger teams that are looking at these academy lads, but for me, that should be the blueprint going forward. That should be where we build our team around, with a few decent, experienced professionals as well.
Yeah, it's to be honest. I mean, Winks has gone, Mark, hasn't he? Winks will be gone in January. Well, hopefully he'll be gone in January. So I can't see him getting another game unless there's 10 injuries to midfielders. Faze looks like he's going because he didn't get a game yesterday, and Carranza just I don't know.
If he can't get a game tomorrow, if he could not get on the pitch yesterday after being 4-0 down, then you know he's not good enough.
No.
He would have been seen easily in that team. Like say, you came off and he was just like, yeah, if Carranza's not coming on and replacing, then Christ, what's he got to do? So if you've got to do anything now to get Antonio, do it, because now without Daka for a few weeks, you might as well try and do something, to be honest. And I know that's not much to say because we've not got Daka, but we've only got 2 strikers and we don't even want to use one of the 2 that we've got left, then you've got to be bringing something else in. So you've got to bring Antonio in, see how I can do.
Jono, they've just gone something there. Where's this? Right, Aggie's put this question in, Jono, about Jacob Stolarkovic. To start off with, I think he started pretty well, but he seems lost a little bit sometimes. His confidence seems to have gone since he's come back from injury. I mean, he's the number 1 keeper, but I just don't know about him now. I thought he was quite good last year, and at the start of the season, he saved us quite a few times. But I don't know. I don't know how to. I want him to. I mean, he's young. I know he's a young lad, and his goalkeepers don't get better until they're about 28, 29, 30 when they're matured a bit. But Jono, I don't know about him. Is he? Yes, no. Go on. Tell me about Jacob.
So my views on him is that you stick with him. I think he's shown over a period of time that he's decent. Definitely at this level. Yes, there's 1 or 2 mistakes in him. The goal in the last game, where the Ipswich game, was, unfortunate. But as a young goalkeeper, you're going to make mistakes. The key is that if he's in that position and makes those mistakes, he learns from it and moves on and becomes a better goalkeeper. I think that's exactly what we've just been saying a moment ago, is that we should be in a position to be able to put some of the youngsters in so they can learn and develop. And part of the development is that they will make a few mistakes here and there. And we've got to accept that, because they're, developing players. Having said that, there's definitely things for him to work on. I think he's still our best goalkeeper. His distribution potentially could be improved, but he's against Ipswich as well. Remember, he saved us in the first half with what I thought was definitely going to be a goal, and he saved it off the line. I can't remember. It was against Ipswich, wasn't it? When we were 1-0 up, I think, and it could have gone to 1-1. So there's 2 sides of the coin here. In one side he's given a goal away when we were 3-0 up, but he saved us to go to 1-1, which could have changed the game completely. So for me, I'd still keep faith in him and hope that he develops and learns from his mistakes. That's my position on that.
Mark, are you similar to what Jono said, or have you got any other different views to him?
No, I concur exactly what he said, to be honest. I think these young players are going to make mistakes, aren't they? That's the only way they're going to learn. I do acknowledge, though, he's made a few howlers this season, but from what I've seen of him and when he's been interviewed, he seems to have the right kind of temperament as well. I think having Begovic behind the scenes will help him no end in terms of getting that experience and learning from Begovic in terms of a mentor as well. These young lads are going to make mistakes, aren't they? Monga's going to make a mistake when he should have crossed it, for example, in a future game. It's the only way they're going to learn and get experience. If we keep bombing these lads out after a couple of mistakes, although I do acknowledge he has made a few howlers this season, but I would hope he will learn and grow and continue. But I don't think the goalkeeper is the least of our worries, to be honest. So I would stick with him for the time being.
Yeah, I think the goalkeeping situation, like you said, Mark, I don't think is the area we've got to worry about. Antonio Reedy, Mikel Antonio, he's been training with us now for about 10 days so far, while he's getting his fitness up and they're discussing contracts. Surely he's got to be the right fit for us. I know he's 35, but we can get 6 months out of him, surely, Reedy.
Oh yes, if you went to said in his press conference when people were asking about him, he said he won't be here if you're not interested in him. So I'd take him in a heartbeat, to be honest. Like I said, as much as he's had a past of injuries and obviously the incident that's happened with his car crash. So again, it can't not help us in a way. Again, he's free. Yes, he's got to pay his wages, but if you would do it like even if it's a game by game wage sort of thing to see how he does, you might as well go and do it because we need something up front to kind of give a bit of a nuisance up front. Again, Ayew for me yesterday was woeful. So
Yeah.
again, put him in, stick him up top, and see what he can do. It's not. I don't see any harm in doing it because if no one else is doing it, you might as well have someone else who's not doing it. So at least he'll give us something else a bit extra. So yeah, for me, you bring him in.
I agree.
Question for you, Mark, question for you, Mark. What's happened to Golding? Is he still playing in the under-23s or is he injured? You've seen more than anybody.
Yeah, he does. He does play, not every week, but he plays most games. He's plays like the number 10 position. He's a big lad. He's a strong unit now. He's at least 6 foot. Good at running with the ball. He's got some nice touches, some nice skills. I would have expected to at least be around the subs bench, around the first team. You know, to be honest, of what I've seen, he's not the most outstanding academy lad down there, if I'm being honest. But he's got something about him. But I have to say that deal does seem a bit strange, doesn't it? 2 years ago, the whole £5 million for him and dudes before going to Chelsea. I'm not sure if there was some kind of like PSR kind of agreement between both teams there, but he's definitely a decent player. Like I say, he's certainly not the best academy lad coming through, but I would have expected to be around the first team, at least on the bench, getting some kind of experience with the first team.
Reedy, I don't know whether you've seen any of the after-match interviews and that, but Marty Swenson was asked, how could this performance be following the Ipswich game? He says, we've been talking about consistency being the main target for us during the season. We're searching for an identity, like Mark said. We cannot expect things to go our way. It's not acceptable. I want to deliver. What has he got to do, really, to be accepted? And he wants to deliver. What changes? What do we need to do, really? It's hard to know exactly to put it in words, I think, because I'm struggling to find an identity, like Mark said earlier.
I think the last couple of games, other than yesterday, I think you could see more of a styling way they wanted to play. I think it was working better. Again, dummies and all these little kind of passy moves and all that. I think it was working better. But I just, like I said earlier, I just feel like when you're going into a game, you're either going to be 3-0 up or 3-0 down. And it's maybe the style of play he's doing it. And maybe that's what's going to get him sacked in the end of it all. So I think the way we play is either going to be working for us and giving us a few goals, or it's going to make us concede a few, which unfortunately, like I said, is going to be the reason why he gets sacked in the end of it. So unfortunately, it's just one of those things because I don't know what he can change. I don't think he can make it any more solid because, like I say, the last few games we looked better defensively, but then you play against him yesterday and you look like an absolute howler. So.
How unprofessional. Sorry, I've left my phone on. Jono, do you? I mean, I was watching it yesterday and I was thinking, we've changed the style. We played 3 games last week and it's got 7 out of 9 points, and we changed the style for them 3 games. And it seemed like yesterday we'd gone back to the way before them 3 games of playing tippy-tappy football around the back. I mean, we were 4-0 down. Sorry, we were 4-1 down on 85 minutes, and we were playing in our own half, just back side to side all the time. John, do you think we changed the style for them 3 games and then he's reverted back to how he wants to play now?
To me, yesterday, from what I saw, it wasn't so much about the style that he was trying to put out there. It was more about the application of the players and getting stuck in. And it's a simple, you're not going to win any football matches if you don't want to scrap and fight and win the balls and then start applying your style on the game. I don't think we even got to the point where we could start applying any style on the game because they were just getting outfought. From what I could see, that we were struggling to put any passes together, and then we were knocking the ball out of play and all sorts. So it wasn't even tippy-tappy style. Yes, I agree with you. The tippy-tappy stuff frustrates the hell out of me, especially when you're, down, 4-0 down or whatever it is, and you're still playing it around in your own half. That frustrates the hell out of me. And all those goal kicking, tippy tapping it out from the back at goal kicks frustrates the hell out of me. I've said it before on a few of these that we create our own. We create our own problems by giving the ball away in our last third. I've seen it, multiple times this season where we're trying to be too clever, and we haven't got the players necessarily to do it. So yeah, I agree that style doesn't work, and I did see a different style, or certainly a different application in the last few games, and I want to see us sort of continue that. But it all came from coming out of the dressing room and getting stuck in from minute one, rather than just coming out almost in a daze. It seemed that's what we were doing yesterday again. So yeah,
there's a lot. Yeah, Mark, before I know you've only got 30 minutes. Last question before you go, Mark. There's a lot of question about in or out now for Marty. I'm definitely more on the side of out, and everyone kept asking me, oh, who would you want? Now, the main one for me would be Martin O'Neill with Andy King as his assistant, because he did so well at Celtic. What's your views on that? Really, I've just got to go for 1 second while Mark's talking about this.
No worries.
Go on, Mark.
Yes, mate. Yeah, I guess I'm torn really, because, like I say, the 3 games prior to yesterday, I saw some encouraging signs, and I thought maybe we are seeing Marty's ideas and the team responding to him. Yesterday was horrendous. I guess in January, again, if you believe the John Percy interview recently, where we've got no funds in January, so whoever comes in has got no money to spend. He's got to work with the same group of players. I'm torn, to be honest. I'm not liking what I'm seeing, but we cannot keep sacking managers, can we, every 3 to 4 months? I think the issue is run deeper at the club than the manager. It's almost if they're set up to fail, if I'm being honest, at the moment, because they haven't really got the foundations and the support network behind them. I know they're recruiting now for a director of football and what have you. I'm going to sit on the fence. I don't know is the honest answer. I think the next 2 home games are going to be pivotal, Watford and Derby. I think if we get less than 4 points there, I just can't see him surviving, to be honest. But I want to caveat it by saying I think the manager is the least of our problems at the football club. I think whoever comes in is going to have the same group of players, no money to spend, PSR issues hanging over our heads. My mindset now is, do we kind of just try and stay up this season, take the points deduction when that comes, try and stay up this season, try and build around Marty maybe, get the academy lads more involved, and then next summer we know that 7 players are going to leave on our contract, the Winkses, the Sumaras, the Dakas, and then do we try and build a new team then around the academy lads and bringing players like Jordan James in and Ramsey and what have you, and go again next summer? I know that's a risk to do that. I know there's a lot of finances involved to do that. And again, without backtracking, do I trust Top and Rudkin to be part of that rebuild process next summer? I've got concerns over that, but I think this season for me is a write-off at the moment, which I know is a negative way to end, but I can't see us challenging for top 6. I know the league's all over the place, but I think it's about building a team around the academy lads, as I keep saying, and trying to build a team for next summer with a view to a rebuild.
Yeah, totally.
If that makes any sense.
I'd much prefer to have a group of youngsters wanting to fight for the shirt. I know really slightly different on this view, but a group of youngsters wanting to fight for the shirt and wanting to play than some overpaid fancy dans not wanting to play for the shirt and stuff like that. I know the youngsters might get a bit of a savaging week in, week out, but they'll get the experience, and I can't see that happening. They would be losing. Some people think, well, losing week in, week out is not the best for them, but I don't think that would happen at all, to be fair, Mark. But yeah, I'm glad to get you on, Mark. Oh, one quick question. Sorry, Mark. You had a bit of a story on Twitter yesterday that I quite liked about a beer compared to Marquis of Fuentes. What did you say it was?
Yeah, it was a bit of a joke, to be honest. But yeah, I do like my Continental lagers. I did refer to Marty as the Cruz Campo of Spanish lagers. You know, it's cheap option, bit bland. I'm more of an Estrella stroke Mahou man myself when it comes to Spanish beers. But just going back to Marty, it was a bit of a joke, but just going back to Marty again, if you believe the rumours, this is a guy that's handed back £250,000 back to QPR and took a pay cut to come to Leicester. So he was desperate to take the job. But like I say, I think there's a few concerns at the moment over what's actually going on. But like I say, I think the next 2 home games are pivotal for the club and for his future, really.
We certainly are. Mark, it's been a pleasure to finally get
Nice
you
one.
on, and love your views, and we'll see you again very shortly.
Nice one. See you later. Cheers.
Cheers, Mark. Thanks a lot, pal.
Try.
Be good. Rightio then, Reedy. Last thoughts on you before we go. Oh, sorry, Jono. Sorry, last thoughts with you, Jono, before you go.
Yeah, I think you asked about Marty in or out. I'm very, I'm really on the fence. I've called for him to go after our shocking performance at Sheffield United, and then we've seen an upturn. And I think I'd agree with what's just been said. To be honest, that he's the least of the worries. And I think Phil's alluded to it on his show a couple of times that, what we're going to achieve by sacking him. I don't see anyone else coming in and doing a better job. The only thought I have really on that is that we are rebuilding this season. Is Marty the man to actually do the rebuild? And that would be my question mark. Is in the longer term, is he just sitting there sorting out this season and keeping us up essentially for someone else to come in and then get the rebuild underway? Because if and when we get a director of football in, is he going to want to appoint a manager who's going to, start shifting players and start, bringing the rebuild together? That would be my question. So I think that sacking him and then getting someone else in and then potentially sacking the next guy coming in once we've got director of football doesn't make much sense. So I think we stick with him for now because I don't see any upturn by bringing someone else in. As long as we're not in the relegation zone, I think that's the main thing. That's.
All right, and Jono, we shall speak to you again. Thank you for joining us, and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone.
We shall speak to you later. Cheers, Jono. Thanks a lot, pal.
Bye-bye.
There we go. Read it. A full lot of views there about in and outs, up and downs, round and round we go. What's your views before we kick you out the window?
I'm still on the fence, but in, I think.
Ooh, controversial.
I think I'm still in because I like Jono says, if he gets sacked and you bring someone else in, I don't think you're going to change what's happening at the Leicester at the moment. Again, you've still got the same sort of players. Again, the last few games you've seen the defence being a lot better, and then you go and play against QPR yesterday and you can't defend a single goal. So for me, I can't see much changing if you do get rid of him. Who would you bring in? People are going to be going for all Nigel Pearson and all that, but I don't see what and who can come in, to be honest. I just think we've got to hopefully stick it in and hopefully we can get more wins than losses at the moment. It's simple as that. It's a bit stupid and horrible as that is. As stupid as horrible that is to hear, right now, I think it's how it is. You either get a few wins on the bounce or you lose a few. And I just don't know who else you could bring in if you do. Because I don't think anyone, even in the people in the comments saying if you're out, name them. Because if people put Nigel Pearson, I think that's kind of just a cop answer. You've got to think of who's the best for the club, and maybe it's him, maybe not. But if there's anyone else, I don't see who there is. So right now, I'm still hoping that Marty can get through to the players.
Yeah. Are you going Boxing Day, Reedy, or are you having Christmas with the fam? Staying at home having Christmas with the family?
No, I'm going to the game on Boxing Day, so that's going to be fun.
It is, isn't it? It is. All right then, Reedy, we shall speak. I know Phil's tomorrow night. I don't think Simon and John are doing Thursday night because it's Christmas Day, isn't it? Thursday.
They might do it if you're lucky. They might do it if you're lucky.
But right then, Reedy, we shall speak to you later. If I don't see you through the week, mate, I'll see you through the window, pal.
See you later.
Be good, mate. Be good. Rightio, lads and lasses, the last show before Christmas. I'll be back through the new year, through between Christmas and New Year to speak to you all. But a little bit of homework before we go. If you don't mind, please like and share this. Whatever platform you're watching it, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, just go in there, give us a little like, give us a little share, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. But the last time before Christmas, ciao, adios, goodbye, adieu. See you after Christmas.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents A variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.